Our target here is to talk about psychology. We are here to understand what we really like. Just the question, why not me? Would you like to be this likable person whom everybody likes? Where is the golden middle? There are always people who like us, and there will be always people who dislike us. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Now let's talk about our memory. This topic is so popular, it has been lavished so much attention of the public that we can talk about it for hours. But we will talk about memory not only from the point of view of neurosciences, but first of all from the point of view of psychology. If you're less than 45 and you have noticed that your memory has been going down and it is harder and harder for you to remember dates, numbers, words, there is an alarm that you should do something with it. So, what are the first reasons? If you from time to time have lack of sleep, certainly it afflicts your memory, and just taking away this factor, you can restore it. Also, the damageful thing for our memory is stress. We cannot avoid stress because we live in such a time that stress is everywhere. We should elaborate some mechanisms of reacting to stress. But if your stress is non-ending, certainly it will make an impact on your memory. So, if you get out of those two factors and you sleep enough and your stress is not long-term, you have days off, you can relax from time to time and regularly, and still you notice that your memory goes down, then we can go back to psychological reasons. Because if we do not remember part of our life, it means that part of our brain is under amnesia and we don't have any access to this part of the brain, which is very valuable and can serve us and can help us to fulfill many ideas and roles and actions. So the best way then is to go through some kind of analysis, this or that. It can be individual approach, it can be the work with psychologists, but anyway, to take out and to bring up this lost part of the memory. And then certainly you will understand better what the Proustian moment is, and that we have fantastic skills of decoding and recoding of our past and our life. As we have already discussed, a person cannot avoid the problems totally. The life develops, we develop, and from time to time we face those or these unknown things, and our mind translates them as a problem. So what is the difference between adequate approach to a problem and inadequate? Healthy psyche, seeing a problem, tries to solve it. Sometimes we do it quickly, sometimes we postpone it a little, then we come back, but we do something with that. When does neurosis start? It starts when we understand that we have a problem, but we cannot move, we cannot make any tiny step into direction of solving it. But we continue thinking and thinking, digesting, building up, conjuring up something making up stories, so living inside this problem, but not undertaking anything to get rid of it or solve it, or at least to put it aside. It's also possible. Where we cannot resolve it, we can postpone it, but stop thinking about it. We are not balanced only when there is a problem, we understand that, and we do nothing in order to solve it. And we cannot stop thinking. And we are living inside of this vicious circle. If you have experienced something like that or experiencing it right now, then in this case, you need a professional help. Address to a psychologist who will be able to help you to get out of this vicious circle and to look at this problem from a different perspective, and then you will see, unbelievable, you will understand that you are capable of solving it. Sometimes very quickly, sometimes it will take time, but anyway, in the long run, you will say that, okay, I have coped, I handled, I tackled this problem. And in order to wind it up in a more optimistic level, I would like to share with you one more thing that is very important, but sometimes overlooked by majority of people. Our quality, skill of being able to imagine things, our imagination is the richness of our brain and our mind. As long as we are capable of imagining, but not replacing the reality, it's very important. Understanding that we are imagining something, we are fancying something. As long as we do it, our memory works properly. It's two-way traffic. So our memory keeps the past, our imagination is taking us to the future. When we combine those two things, which sometimes they seem miraculous, but actually they're as vivid as something we can touch. We just need to know the structure. So if we develop our imagination, no matter how old we are, certainly it should have been developed in the childhood. But anyway, there are so many sources which we can use in order to develop it. So don't neglect it. Know that every day, if you spend at least 5 minutes imagining something, you're developing your future, and it's not idling time. It's something precious. It's also an investment in your brain health, in your future, and in your aging, which can be also very, very beautiful. For those of you who would like to have personal consultation sessions with me, you are welcome. All my data you can find below, and get in touch with me, and I will try to do my best to understand you and find the way out with yourself together, certainly, out of your problem. See you soon.